I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Loren Michaels Harris. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I'm so awesome, it's not even funny.
Love it. And what part of the world are you in right now?
I am in a suburb right outside of Chicago, Illinois.
All right. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
Well, I would have to say it is my motivational speaking, my message. So if you consider a message a talent, I would say that would have to be it.
Well, I do consider the delivering of the message a talent.
Okay.
What would you say about that? Does that make sense? I mean, if you're not too good, well, then it's crappy and the message gets lost, right?
It's lost. You know, that's true. However, I do have to say, even speakers that aren't as polished as others, as long as their message has a core of truth to it, is built around truth. It's the only thing in the universe that never changes. And there's a reason, Angel, that they say the truth has a ring to it.
I love that. And I definitely agree with that. Totally.
Right.
Like I've heard some, and again, I think it works as well as if a person is ready for a message and that message is delivered, whether it sounds crappy to one person, hey, that message gets through and creates change. So you're very correct. Love the fact that you called me on that. Love it. Yes. So who did you learn that skill from? The skill of motivational speaking.
I learned that skill not from a person, but from life experiences, and allowing those life experiences to take me to the lap of the journey, wherein I had my aha moment, which revealed to me that in order to do this and do it well, I simply needed to take my hands off the steering wheel of my life and allow all these great things to come through me and not sit and feel the responsibility of them coming from me. It changed everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moments of silence, folks. Pin drop. Why will you continue to repeat this skill?
Well, because I spent many decades of my life looking for answers, hoping for solutions, seeking validation from all the wrong places. And once I got a taste of what the truth can do, the power that it gives you to impact and change not only yourself, but others, I was smitten. There was no turning back. It instantly turned all questions into answers. And for me, that made life worth living, which wasn't always the case. So that was a pretty big deal, yeah.
What's one of your favorite songs right now in your life?
One of my favorite songs. Well, if I was going to give a shameless plug, I'd pick one of the songs off my own album, but I won't do that. I won't do that. But I will. Well, actually, I think I just told a big one, because I am going to use one.
You should.
But it's not an original. It's the only cover tune on the album I'm working on now. And it's an oldie but goodie, but I love the message behind it. And that is, what a wonderful world.
How dare you not sing it? Like how could you say the words and not sing? Like, I mean, you're doing the work on it. It's
You're funny. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What a wonderful world. Yeah. Definitely connects.
Yeah.
Definitely
Sure.
connects. Pretty amazing stuff. Well, tell us one other thing that you've done, Loren, consistently over the last 3 years.
One of the things I've done consistently over the last 3 years is to wake every day with a commitment to the universe, to end that day having worked on becoming a better version of myself. So that basically means stepping away from all the goals and really pouring myself into the process, because I learned early on that I don't have control over, who's going to hire me or who's going to like me or anything like that. But what I do have control over is making myself the type of person that someone would want to hire, to make myself the kind of person that someone would want to like. So that's what I focused on, for the consistently for the last 3 years, because consistency was the challenge. Sometimes we have the key to a lot of doors, but we only bring the key ring with us Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Christmas Eve, and Easter, which it always happens that way, that when you don't have your keys is when you're in front of those doors. So it wasn't until I learned the life lesson to take those keys with me each and every day, which is working within my purpose each and every day, being consistent, not being lukewarm, but being hot, hot, hot at all times.
Love it. Today I was reflecting on what my calendar looks like right now. So my calendar is packed, right? And
yes,
there are people that do cancel. And I was eating before I started this segment of my evening, and I said to myself, because on many occasions I wanted to address when people cancel conversations. and then I said, and this is all mental, right? This is me in the mind, in the thoughts talking, right? And this is the first verbal of it here. I said, I'm not letting that be the fuel. And the person that I need to connect with, I will connect with. And when I do, I'm going to show up in all that I am. And then let that be the fuel. So I'm glad that you brought that, just to bring confirmation of the thought that I had not so long ago.
Yes, confirmation is a great thing, isn't it?
It definitely is. Why would you suggest to someone that's listening that they do that as well, Loren?
Well, I think it's really important to understand, because it's like this. It's, again, it doubles back around to what I said earlier about that hands off the wheel. We don't have control over a lot of things, but we do have control over the things that matter. And that is just believing that everything has a number, it has a place. There's a reason behind each and everything. And I'm not one of these people that I really subscribe to listening to what I call my first mind, which is, to me, the one thing that is connected directly to what you believe to be greater than yourself. In my case, it's God, so, my higher power. And when I listen to that voice, no matter how crazy, I'm doing air quotes, how crazy it may sound, I try to stick with that, because it's like whatever comes after that is second. And if there's 100 things after that, they're all still second. And then you fall into second guessing. And so, when you really just start relying on something that's working, why change? If it's working, if it's not broken, why fix it? And it just takes a lot of the responsibility off, because that way I don't have to take it personally. I used to take so many things personally that didn't go the way I planned them, And so once I just quit trying to be the scheduler and just showed I was responsible for my showing up, my being present in all aspects. Once I started concentrating on that, I realized that every opportunity intersection is going to have just that, an intersection where there are things going in all directions. And, fortunately for all of us, we can't see around the corners in front of us until we get there. So all I have to do is put one foot in front of the other, which is my best foot, which is the one I most recently moved to the forefront. So, because you can have two really great feet, and if you just keep them planted and you don't move them, how good are they? So just keep moving forward, and you'll get to the intersection, because intersections, here's what I love about them. It's an opportunity for me to not only receive the blessings that are meant for me, but to turn immediately, sometimes even before the blessing is for me, and look for those opportunities wherein I can be a blessing to the situation. And those are oftentimes the best blessings of all.
Love it. Well, Loren, where's the best place for someone to connect with you?
Well, my social media, of course, Facebook. It's Loren Harris is my personal page, which I welcome all people to. And I also have a public figure page, which is my full name, Loren Michaels Harris. And then I have a website, which is lorenmichaelsharris.com.
Again, Loren is Loren Loren Michaels Harris. Pretty simple.
Yes.
All right, my friend, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Loren, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory is right around, I would say, 4. And it was when they were preparing me to begin kindergarten. And I remember that's when they sat me down and told me that I was adopted. And I didn't really know what that meant. I thought every child went through this conversation. And so for me, I always refer to that in my talks as the moment when I realized I wasn't in Kansas any longer, that things can change, and that was really the beginning of my journey.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Oh, wow. And it's intrinsically connected to everything because my adoptive mother unexpectedly passed away when I was only 9. So I was immediately plucked from my family and put inside of what is known here in the U.S. as the foster care system. So from the ages of 9 to 16, I endured 22 different homes, private homes as well as institutional settings known as group homes. And those things led me to the person I am today. A lot of hardships, a lot of struggles, a lot of abusers of all sorts. But I'll tell you this, today they make me a person who they forced me to reinvent blame. And what I mean by that is all the things I carried decade after decade after decade, things that I didn't have control of, those things that I thought were meant to make me feel unloved, unworthy, that my dreams could never come true because of the life that I had grown through. All of that turned around when I started sharing my message because within those moments, those pit moments, those dark times were all of the solutions. That's where I learned that on those days where I just don't want to get up, I found the wherewithal within my spirit to go ahead and get up anyway. And now I share those things with everyone I meet. So it's a wonderful, wonderful full circle kind of moment. Yeah.
I love to call it the boomerang. I love the boomerang, the imagery of the boomerang. Most definitely.
Absolutely.
It's thrown out there, but it definitely comes full circle to your own unique real self, your truth. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
That's right. I remember you were going to ask this. My favorite song at 12 was Got to Be There by the Jackson 5.
Love it. It's amazing how these things connect, right? I mean, we've spoke so much about consistency and the fact that you show up at your time, right? Definitely taking your hands off of the wheel, but being there, right? Because got to be there, right?
Absolutely. I never thought of it like that. Thank you.
You're welcome. My friend, we've now arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Loren?
I'm ready.
Loren, have you chosen someone to pass on your skill to?
Actually, I have.
Are you married?
I am. I've been married for a month and a week.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you have children?
No, but plan on adopting a couple. Some kids that are from the foster system that are older, that are hard to place. That's the goal.
All right. Boomerang, right? Full circle.
Absolutely.
Do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Never.
What about screen time? The phone and the computer, is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
It is probably right around 8.
All right.
Because of coaching and whatnot.
Okay. All right. Well, Loren, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who Loren Michaels, your last name just slipped my mind, Harris is, right?
Yes.
Right. Loren, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Loren Michaels Harris, what would you say that is?
Oh, that's an easy one. It's my mantra. Never, ever, ever, ever forget to always do everything you do with purpose and truth, because truth is the only thing in this universe that will never change on you.
Loren, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I'd like to say, just remember, your message is in everything you do. You don't have to be a wonderful speaker. You just have to be a wonderful walker.
Loren Michaels Harris, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.